But I can't sit here and give you I have overcome everything that's wrong success story, because
Oh, of course.
I'm not there yet. Um, but I'll tell you this, and maybe this is the best thing I can tell you, is I am currently right this second the best version of myself that has ever walked the earth, and I can be proud of that. Back at the very first of April, um, my marriage just hit rock bottom. It looked like it was going to end, and I'd had a lot of personal problems through the years, not the least of which was a porn addiction I've had since I was a kid that would be on again, off again. The last time I confessed it, it's been over 2 years, 2.5 years sober now, but the damage was really bad, and I didn't know what to do. And somewhere along the line, I stumbled into your Facebook group because it looked like something that I would be interested in, and then I got in there and I
Yeah.
started to recognize some patterns. I started to listen to some of those introductory videos. I started to use my wife validation and things like that. And it was like everything that I'd tried to do to repair all the damage. Now I'm reading and hearing, I went the opposite direction of what I should have done. I didn't know. The reason that I signed up for the system, the appeal there was, um, I need to make a change. Um, and I need to risk something major to make that change, because I cannot keep doing the same things I've been doing for 15 years and expect a different result. I just can't. Um,
Yeah.
and it sounded like I might find what I'm looking for here. Um, so that was what was different. So it was like a real roadmap, a real plan, a real support cast. I mean, I got a lot out of the group, being able to just share in the 3 a.m. outside by the burning pile, and and listen to lots of other guys who had it worse than me, and there was a real community there. Um, the underlying description of the class is strength of all kinds. Um, and I definitely know that I am stronger in a lot of areas than I was ever before. Like one of the things I learned early on was how awful it is to be indecisive.
Mm.
Um, I have very little trouble with that anymore. One of the great parts of it was you spelled out the physical strength, however all the pieces are connected. I mean, that was one of my fun takeaways. The minute I joined the system and I just looked through everything that was in there, and you said, oh, by the way, eventually you need to be able to do 20 pull-ups. I thought, hey, cool. And I could do, 7. And I worked at it and I worked at it because that's how I like to do things. And I finally achieved that. It felt pretty great. But
Yeah.
along the way, you learn it's because you're worth taking care of, and don't apologize for it. Like you said, this is something I can control. To me, I think one of the most critical elements that I'd learned was this whole concept of mature people can take control of their thoughts and change them. I had absolutely no clue how to do that, none whatsoever. So that is a monster lesson that I've learned through the system, is how to do that. Well, one of the things that kind of has really changed is this idea of finding out what you really believe, what's your core values, and kind of basing your decisions and your worth out of that. Is the whole idea of self-validation. That was a foreign concept to me. I was incapable of doing that when I started the system, and being able to do that has been a big help. So I recognize that the changes are definitely there. My wife can see them. She does talk about them. I would say that's another huge game changer for me, was learning how to let the emotions just hit. Just allow yourself to realize what they are, and just let them hit. Because I had a lot of roller coaster stuff, a lot of bad stuff going on. Learning how, okay, in the moment, this is really awful. I need to go hide somewhere for a while and just let this wash over me. I'm not going to feel like this in a little while. It'll be better. It'll be okay. Um, Instead of trying to bottle it up and then it comes out in all kinds of secret, destructive ways, which is how I spent most of my life. So even recognizing now, okay, I know what I need to go do now
Yeah.
to be okay. That's really powerful. So one of the things is I learned that I would use sex for validation. That if this was still going on in my relationship, then okay, maybe I'm still okay. Maybe I still hold value. Maybe I still have some kind of shred of worth.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think I do that at all anymore.
Nice.
Like at all. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I like that it's a process, and I will be a part of this process for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's a lifetime membership for a reason. Like it's a
That was
lifetime.
part of the appeal, Mike. It was.
It's a lifetime process, and
Yeah.
it's fun to do it together. Like it's more fun together, I think.
Oh yeah. But I'm not. I can't sit here and give you a I have overcome everything that's wrong success story, because
Oh, of course.
I'm not there yet. Um, but I'll tell you this, and maybe this is the best thing I can tell you, is I am currently right this second the best version of myself that has ever walked the earth, and I can be proud of
That like
that.
that hits me.
Gets you right in the soft
Yeah.
spot, doesn't it, Mike?
No, it totally does. I love it. Like that means a lot to me. Like
Yeah. That
that's
I say that with conviction.
yeah. Well, thank you. Like you've worked hard, man. Like you came in, you didn't mess around. Like you came in, you did all the work. Like if
Yeah,
you
I was
do the work,
serious.
yeah. I mean, if you do the work, it pays off. Like you have those strengths now. We talked about all the elements except spiritual strength. Any developments there that you can point to? I mean, kind of like what you just said is really the big one, but
Yeah. Well, another piece of it is this idea of my self-worth. It's been kind of in the tank for a long time, even having been a Christian my entire life, raised in church since a kid. I was a pastor's kid for however many years, 15 years or so. Um, but the system kind of set me on a path a while back, a few months ago, about what does it really mean to experience God's love? Like, what does that really mean? And the system got me to start asking the question. And then I found something on my own that changed my life for good. So um, that is a primary focus of mine, is can you really have that? How does that really work? What does the Bible say about that? But without the system, I wouldn't even start asking the questions.
sure.
So
Yeah.
now it's just something I focus on every day, and I search for every day, and it's a priority for me.
Yeah. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Artie, for jumping in, sharing this with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you, man. You're a good man. And,
Love you too, Mike. Appreciate you more than
yeah,
I'll ever be able to say.
you're a great asset to the group. So thank you.
Well, awesome. Let's keep it going.
All right. Sounds good, Artie.